Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today is a very special day. Today is the appearance day of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, who left us a couple of years back. Without remembering him, our JAPA meditation today will not be complete. So I thought we will speak a few minutes about him. He was disciple of Prabhupada, god brother of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and many others. He was African American, and he suffered a lot in his childhood because of white and black differentiation, discrimination, Varna Bhed. In childhood, in college, everywhere he was condemned by the white community, and he tolerated all that and excelled in his studies in the Yale University of America. And then he was such a master in his knowledge. He got many scholarships. Then he was in search of truth. And that time he met one of the yogis in Rishikesh, the same place where I lived for 1 year. And that yogi, he approached the yogi for initiation, for acceptance of initiation diksha. But that yogi had some siddhis, and the yogi said that your guru is His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So you have to go to him. He is your guru. So on the intuitive instruction of that yogi, Ghanash, his name was, I think, I don't remember. He went to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and surrendered his life, and he became Ghanashyam Das. And Ghanashyam Das was a extremely dynamic, extremely fit, and extremely enthusiastic devotee. And he distributed the whole set of 80 books of Prabhupada. I mean, sets of such books to many universities of America and other places. He was such a master book distributor that he would distribute only sets of 80 books of Prabhupada whenever he would distribute. So many of the universities in America have the whole library of Prabhupada's books, just because he had gone and met the chancellors and the deans and the kulagurus of many universities of America. The unique feature of his life was he would chant 42 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, almost from the day of initiation. And he never missed that till the last moment of his life. And he had a very unique way of dancing. He had a duffly drum with him, and he would dance. And I have participated in his dance many times, especially in Radha Gopinath Mandir Hall. And he would go completely in trance. And if you want to know what is trance, experience that firsthand with your eyes, then you should see his videos of dancing, how he gets completely out of the world connection and goes in transcendental position. And at the time of initiation of his sannyas in New Vrindavan by Kirtanananda Swami, he was so ecstatic that he was jumping in the air about 5 to 6 feet high. And that was the most unique dance that he ever did in his life. He came to Bhaktivedanta Hospital and he stayed for 42 days. And we had the very fortunate opportunity to serve him personally for all those 42 days. He was taking Panchakarma Ayurvedic treatment. And he said many statements about Bhaktivedanta Hospital. He said, there is a miracle in Bhaktivedanta Hospital at every 4 hours. At interval of 4 hours, you see a new miracle happening at Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And he said, Bhaktivedanta Hospital is the future of ISKCON. The unique way of preaching that we have adopted is, he was so happy and so inspired, and he was so much glorifying. And he also introduced many innovative, new, unbelievable ways of preaching the science of Krishna consciousness. And finally, he developed cancer that is called melanoma. And because of that, the fastest growing tumor that you can ever have is melanoma. So because of melanoma, then he had to amputate his leg because it's so widely spread, and so he could no more dance. He wanted to come to Bhaktivedanta Hospice in Vrindavan to leave his body, but his condition became very poor. So he settled down in Philadelphia, Gita Nagari, ISKCON center of Gita Nagari. And there, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj served him for 7 weeks, dropping all his intense schedules of travels, dropped everything and gave company association to Bhakti Tirtha Swami. And in those 7 weeks, His Holiness Radhanath Swami and His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami shared such intimate, loving exchanges, shared such heart, such realizations, such memories of Prabhupada, such experiences of Krishna consciousness. And amazingly, because he had such intense desire to go to Vrindavan and leave his body, but he still could not go, the great Brijvasis of Barsana Dham, namely Madan Mohan Brijvasi, Narsingh Baba, Pandit Ramjilal Shastri, the greatest and genuine and most deep Brijvasis, they reached Cleveland, and His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj brought them to Gita Nagari by driving them personally to give association to His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. And they performed kirtan in the assembly of devotees in the courtyard of Gita Nagari. And that time so many peacocks just surrounded on their own accord without any activity as such. Freely they moved into the area of kirtan. And in that kirtan, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami was just wailing in ecstasy, crying tears of love, wailing, calling Krishna's name. So much ecstasy that everybody was also crying in ecstasy and happiness in that kirtan. So His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said that because he could not go to Vrindavan, Radharani sent Vrindavan and Barsana to him in the form of those wonderful devotees who actually, manifested Sri Vrindavan Barsana Dham right in front of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. So that was the most touching event. And then holding the hand of Radhanath Maharaj in the hand of, in his own hand, holding Govardhan Shila in another hand, he passed away on one auspicious day. And he was telling before he went that the aeroplane the Vimana from Vaikunta has come for me. He is waiting. And he was very much telling His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj again and again that there are 2 seats on the Vimana. Why don't you join me? So finally, that discussion about Viman went for many days. And then in a glorious way, he passed away from this world, immersed in love of Krishna and Radha. In the comment that His Holiness Radhana Swami made, that I have not seen up till now any person in the whole life of mine, in the whole world, who is so connected closely with Krishna, so highly Krishna conscious, so closely connected to Krishna. Where else will go, he will go, except Krishna's abode, near Krishna's lotus feet to serve him. So fortunately, because of Bhaktivedanta Hospital, we had a chance to associate with him, speak to him, serve him, please him, hear his wonderful, encouraging statements about Bhaktivedanta to encourage us to serve more and more with full faith. So today, on this auspicious day of his appearance, we offer our heartfelt, grateful obeisances, pranams at the lotus feet of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, and take inspiration from his daily chanting 42 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, irrespective of ill health, challenges, preaching, studying, traveling. He was doing that regularly. He felt that he was too fallen, so he just couldn't chant 16 rounds only. He had to chant more rounds to be qualified, to be called as Prabhupada's disciple and Krishna's devotee. So we offer our millions of obeisances, millions of pranams, millions of respects at the feet of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, who is the highest source of enthusiasm and inspiration for all of us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.